All hail Gina Carano and all hail Carl Weathers. This was an amazing episode. Carl Weathers actually directed this episode, which I thought was awesome. We see the Mandalorian Din return to Navarro for proper repairs to his ship because it still wasn't fixed from the last episode. And when he gets there, he reunites with Cara Dune and Grief Karga, and you get to see like how Navarro has changed since he's been gone. There's a lot of stuff that's changed in just the town alone, and they do ask for Din's help, and of course he agrees. And we also get to see the Mythrol return from the very first pilot episode. That was the blue guy that he had to go on that planet to get. So again, there's like a lot of stuff that happens, so I'm just gonna be jumping into spoilers here. In 3, 2, 1. So we find, Mando is back on Navarro, and we find out that Cara Dune is now the Marshal, and her and Grief Karga have been cleaning up the town and the planet. And you even get to see a school that they put together for it, which is awesome. So Cara and Grief ask Din for help with cleaning what they think is a remnant of an old Imperial base, and he's like, I don't know, I've got the kid with me, we've got to get going and things after the repairs, and they're like, look, this isn't going to take long, we'll leave the kid here in school where he'll be safe, and we just need your help getting this done, and this will be the last of the Imperials on the planet. So he agrees, and they end up taking the Mythrol with them. And as he's driving there, Carl's character, Grief, is like, look, you're going to leave the speeder running, you're going to stay here, you're going to knock like 100 years off of your sentence, because apparently he took off with some money and they caught him again. So he's like, oh, okay, fine. And then they're like, hey, get over here. We need your help getting into the Imperial base. And he's like, what? No way. And they're like, look, we'll knock off another 30 years. So he's like, all right, fine. And then they just keep going, and they trick him into going into the base with them. They're like, oh, well, the lava flats come in, you're going to be dead, so see ya. And he's like, wait, what? So he goes into the base with them, which is hilarious. They just trick him into it. And Mando, meanwhile, flies up to the top, shoots some Imperial troopers, and opens the door for them while they're all down there arguing. And they move through the base and get to the reactor core because they're trying to blow the base up. So they're gonna drain the cooling pipes to make the lava explode and destroy the entire base. So they get there, and then they do that, and they've got like 10 minutes to get out of there. And as they're going through, there's actually a sequence of firefights that are actually really cool. They even get into this old Imperial, I'm not even sure what it's called, but it's got like a gun on it in the back of it, and they try to go through the base, but they get cut off. So they turn around and jump off the edge with it, and they get into a chase. But before that, they actually end up finding a lab in the place, and they find out that Persing from season 1, the doctor who wanted the child, is running this lab here where the scientists are doing experimental blood transfusions with the child's blood, and they don't actually say for what purpose, but you can look at these tanks and see that these experiments are all kind of deformed, and they even talk about that a little bit in it. So then they go on the chase where they're getting out of there. Mando flies off to get Baby Yoda before any stormtroopers or anybody like that can get there, and they end up finding out that Grief, or Moff Gideon, not Grief, Moff Gideon is still alive, and so that's why the Mando takes off before everybody else. So the whole chase sequence is actually pretty cool because you get to see like these stormtroopers on the speeder bikes trying to chase them, and they're just getting picked off on their own trying to go down this rocky steep. And then 4 TIE fighters come through, and they're trying to get away from them, which is which is actually pretty cool. So the effects in this were great as well for that. And then we end the episode with Moff Gideon in a room full of what looks to be like their robot troopers. I remember there being some kind of robot troopers in Star Wars Rebels, but I can't remember exactly what they're called and if this is what they are. But we'll see in another episode. Again, this episode was great. The pace is picking up now. This is the 4th episode, and if there's only 8 episodes to this season, like the rest of them, then the pace has got to pick up more and more now. So we're seeing more of that, which is awesome. We get to see Gina talk to a not TIE fighter, but X-Wing pilot that was in episode 3 where they were talking to the Mandalorian on the ice planet. And he puts like a little emblem down for Cara Dune there. And we get to see, I think that might be where her spinoff series might come in if they do that. So that was a good little Easter egg for this. I mean, honestly, I would give this an 8 or 9 out of 10. This was a really good episode. I liked episode 3 better, though, especially when they introduced Bo-Katan. So I thought that was a great Easter egg for that. And then they dropped Ahsoka Tan's name in it, which was great as well. But yeah, this episode was really good. If you like what I do, please hit the like button and leave a comment and let me know if you've seen this episode, what you thought of it. Until next time, take care, everybody.